Hey y'all, welcome to Mondays with Mike. I am your host, your pilot, Mike, here to bring the recap of the game of the week from week 7 of the college football season. Before we get to that, I've got to give out some props. My slinger for week 7 was Oregon quarterback Dillon Gabriel, who went 23 of 34 for 341 yards, two TDs, and no interceptions for the Oregon Ducks in a game I'm about to talk about. My get them the damn ball award winner for week 7 was it should have gone to Ashton Genty, but I can't keep giving it to him. Instead, it's going to Penn State tight end Tyler Warren, who had 17 receptions for 224 yards, one touchdown as Penn State came back in the second half at the Coliseum in Los Angeles and got the 33-30 win in overtime against the USC Trojans. That game was almost the game of the week, but we have to go slightly north a little bit from Los Angeles up to Eugene, Oregon, as the Oregon Ducks outlasted Ohio State in a classic 32-31. I mean, Autzen Stadium was on fire. Like when that stadium is heated, is energized, that is just a different animal of a stadium. And it's amazing too because it's not that compared to other college football stadiums, it's nowhere near the size of a lot of college football stadiums. But I mean, they're right on top of the field, and I mean, you can just feel that stadium is just it's a different animal when it's on, it's on. But Oregon, despite losing one of their best receivers in Trayshawn Holden, in something I had never seen in 25 plus years of watching college football, spitting on an opposing defensive player for Ohio State and getting ejected, they were able to get great performances out of both Evan Stewart and Tez Johnson. Stewart had 7 receptions for 149 yards and a touchdown, and Tez Johnson had 7 receptions for 75 yards and a touchdown. They also had Jordan James carrying it 23 times for 115 yards and a touchdown on the ground to help out Dillon Gabriel. Of course, Ohio State is not short on receiving talent themselves. Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Ibuka combined to go have 19 receptions for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns, with Travion Henderson carrying it 10 times for 87 yards on the ground. For some reason, even though Ohio State was getting a lot of rushing yards in the first half, decided to abandon the rush in the second half. I do not know why. The makeup of that team is, I know they have amazing talent out wide with the receivers, but I mean, like, they want to be a physical football team, because in these kinds of games you have to be physical, and you have to be able to gain yardage, and that's been a real problem for them in these bigger games with when they're matched up with equally talented rosters. But for whatever reason, they decided not to do that. Dan Lanning and the Oregon Ducks just had it on this night. They were able to get pressure on Will Howard. I think he was pressured like 5 times, and he was sacked once. Dillon Gabriel was not sacked, nor was he pressured the entire game. And I really think that made the difference in a game like that, where you have one quarterback that, even if they're not getting pressured a lot, they are still getting pressured. And I think Oregon also had more tackles for loss than Ohio State. So when you have 2 equally talented teams like this, that's the kind of stuff that can really leap out. I think Ohio State also had the only turnover in this game. So great game for the sport, great game for the Big Ten. And that's really all I have for this week. I will see y'all again next week in week 8, where I'll probably be talking about an SEC game. I have a strong suspicion I'm going to be talking about an SEC game, and it may not be the one you think I'm going to talk about. But anyways, y'all take it easy, and I'll see you back for week 8.